a global platform now that Caitlin will have coming into the professional ranks. So it's really a great time to be in basketball.
CaitlinClark is clearly a catalyst for a business that was, and let's be honest, Caitlin to some degree financially saved the WNBA. It was hemorrhaging money for years.
To build, you have to scale, and ultimately expansion had always been on my list. But we didn't want to rush into it because we wanted new owners, like new ownership groups. Anyone who knows sports here knows, like, it's a slog to be a sports owner.
How would you stop CaitlinClark, your most valuable asset, from joining a competitor? The WNBA gave the world an answer to this question just a few hours ago. CaitlinClark, whose name is synonymous with basketball brilliance, has the globe in a frenzy.
Hi, Caitlin.
Hey, what's up, Caitlin?
Hey, Caitlin.
Hey, Caitlin.
Renowned for her remarkable range and fierce competitiveness, Clark was expected to lead the WNBA to unprecedented heights after being nominated by the league. CaitlinClark of the University of Iowa has been selected by the Indiana Fever. However, current rumors suggest that Clark might choose to leave the WNBA and travel to Europe in order to seek the lucrative contracts that are waiting for her. The WNBA is now prepared to provide an ownership stake, though, which is unprecedented. It was anticipated that CaitlinClark would be a game share for the Indiana Fever, who wished to retain her on U.S. soil when she joined the WNBB.
The Indiana Fever select CaitlinClark, University of Iowa.
After an amazing collegiate career in which she smashed attendance records and drew millions of viewers, the WNBA saw Clark as their golden ticket. She became the most anticipated rookie in recent WNBA history due to her ability to draw huge fan audiences, improve TV viewing, and enhance attendance to levels never seen by the league before. After choosing Clark, the Indiana Fever, who struggled with attendance and performance, witnessed a sharp decline in their numbers.
I actually looked up how much the tickets were going for. I kind of cut that price in half.
A lot of people believed she could transform the franchise entirely by herself. Therefore, her ability to draw followers during her undergraduate years wasn't only speculation. Clark's games became must-see events during her debut season in the league, leading in some of the most watched women's basketball games ever and an almost fourfold spike in Indiana Fever attendance. In terms of TV ratings, this contributed to the WNBA having one of its best seasons.
The Fever are going to be over 200,000 higher than the next highest total attendance in league history. Clarkonomics, my friend!
CaitlinClark was more than just a player for the WNBA. She was a beacon for the future.
Getting more and more people, and it's getting bigger, it's getting louder, and it's a very fun environment to be in.
However, even more exciting than her WNBA debut,
CaitlinClark is clearly a catalyst for a business that was, and let's be honest, Caitlin to some degree financially saved the WNBA. It was hemorrhaging money.
it was CaitlinClark. With alluring promises, European clubs are likewise aiming for financial security. Europe is a big draw for elite WNBA players, as players like Diana Taurasi and Breanna Stewart have openly discussed how playing there gives them more money and competitive possibilities. Stability of the economy.
The records keep coming!
That the WNBA couldn't compete with. Clark began considering moving her abilities over the Atlantic when she recognized these opportunities due to the glaring pricing gap. By accepting contracts from European teams that are more than what the WNBA currently offers, players can boost their earning potential.
Like there's that 4-year period where you need to grow as a person, but then the NIL comes into play.
Oh,
we keep walking right back into that.
About CaitlinClark, given the genuine ownership stake and the potential loss of CaitlinClark to Europe offers her not only the chance to secure her financial future, but also the chance to compete on a global scale and make a good living with several elite European teams that reportedly provide millions. Clark was forced to choose between moving to Europe and earning more money or playing in the WNBA at home for less money. Clark was given a stake in the Indiana Fever by the WNBA, which was a first for women's athletics. This bold action acknowledged Clark's importance to the league's eventual ownership. Usually, only seasoned athletes at the conclusion of their careers or those with significant commercial pursuits are allowed to participate in stakes. For instance, it is rare that Michael Jordan owns the Charlotte Hornets at such a young age, but it demonstrates how much the WNBA values Clark and acknowledges her potential to have an impact on women's basketball in the future. The Fever's ownership group and the league see Clark as a long-term investment. She will play for the Fever and contribute to the team's financial decisions if she remains. Over the past 5 years, sports clubs' long-term strategy and growth have increased their value because to a rise in media rights agreements, WNBA sponsorships, global fan interaction, and sports' overall rising appeal.
500,000, $1 million off your NIL? Are you staying?
This increase is particularly obvious in leagues like European football, the NBA, and the NFL. NFL team valuations have risen by more than 40% over the last 5 years, while franchise values in MLB and NHL have also surged dramatically, as have other leagues like the WNBA. After this season's attention, the WNBA is quickly emerging as the league with the most room to grow. Due primarily to CCS arrival and the new media arrangement, the Indiana Fever's valuation has increased by about 40% this year alone, reaching over $90 million. Both the NHL and MLB have expanded by more than 50% and 42%, respectively.
WNBA has seen record-breaking numbers this season in viewership, ticket sales, merch sales, and just overall growth of the league.
That's most likely only the beginning. She will be able to accumulate long-term riches and put herself in a position to become the first female basketball player to reach the $1 billion mark thanks to her ownership share. She would become the only female athlete to become the greatest of all time in her sport and to accumulate hundreds of millions of dollars in net worth, joining Impact Elite, which is only available to Serena Williams. Clark has always had interests outside basketball during her time in college. She discussed growing the sport and making an impact off the court.
Draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%. Between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%. Between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%. What CaitlinClark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially.
I wish the WNBA stakes were higher, but nobody offers me that in the Bice game. She has the chance to genuinely impact a team's management with this ownership stake, which might have an impact on not just the Fever but the WNBA as a whole. They believe that Clark is a revolutionary who can raise the league above its current standing. Losing her to Europe would have cost the WNBA an opportunity to grow its fan base, which goes beyond just a blow to the Fever.
Nitpicking every single thing I do, and I know I want to, help this franchise get even better, help my teammates get even better, be better for my teammates, and I know there's a lot of room for me to continue to
acquire more lucrative sponsorship deals and broaden its global presence in a league with low TV viewership. Clark's presence might boost attendance in ways the WNBA has never experienced. Because of these significant players, Clark's long-term arrival would strengthen the leagues.
Not following after CaitlinClark's been eliminated, and they're not into the league because they're conditioned by the league and the...
Ownership in professional sports involves more than just financial gain. It's also about legacy players who gain ownership, power, and influence. Maintaining a talented player in the league is not the only goal of giving her an ownership stake. The goal is to safeguard the WNBA's future. The notion that a rookie like CaitlinClark would be given such a prominent status symbol could be interpreted by Ozza Wilson, who has dedicated herself to building her professional and personal brand within the league, as undermining the years of effort and commitment that more seasoned players like her have put in. Wilson and other WNBA veterans might possibly see this deal as evidence that the league is evolving and that younger players like Clark are receiving a lot of fanfare and media attention. People view players like Michael Jordan of the Charlotte Hornets as more than just sportsmen. They have the power to influence the franchise's future and may begin to receive referential treatment in terms of opportunities and endorsements, which could lead to conflict in the rooms.
Clark's final WNBA playoff game, 2.5 million viewers.
Appreciate you. And I think that what she has done for women's basketball, especially in this country, has been phenomenal. There is no woman, no matter how great you were as a player, Cheryl Swoop.
Veterans may feel undervalued or left behind if they believe their accomplishments are being overshadowed by the possibility of emerging stars, since Clark's offer would set a precedent that future generations of players could expect. With this kind of agreement, Clark would have a special place in the WNBA and be able to influence the Fever's economic decisions in addition to receiving long-term financial stability. For someone like Wilson, who has gained respect and reputation for years of hard work, witnessing a rookie get such opportunities could cause friction. It represents a shift in the league's value structure for its younger, marketable players in comparison to its more seasoned veterans, in addition to a financial disparity.
Her playing basketball right now is a miracle. Some of the fans that were unhappy with her one play, a defensive play, called for that same tumor for her.
The offer of an ownership interest ultimately represents the NBA's effort to retain its most marketable talent in CaitlinClark's growing fame, but players like A.A. Wilson can feel jealous and irritated by this decision.
Try and stay ahead of that, try and tamp it down or act as a league when two of your most visible players are involved, not personally, it would seem, but their fan bases are involved.
since it draws attention to a change in the league structure wherein even season champions may not receive the same opportunities as centered stars due to younger media. The league will most likely be impacted by this historic deal, and it may even spark disputes among the NBA's top players.
It's not just one person. That's jealousy.
I agree with that. I agree with
So
that.
stop it with all the, nobody's jealous of CaitlinClark. Angel Reese just showed you on.
CaitlinClark is now the center of attention. Will she accept the WNBA's historic invitation to become a co-owner of the Indiana Fever? Or will she travel to Europe to get more money up front, like many others have done before?
Sutton, we're pretty close. This has been as close as it's been all second quarter long, 44.
According to Clark, since women's basketball encompasses more than just basketball, this ruling may change the sport's course. It has to do with the legacy she wants to leave. Clark would become the first player owner in WNBA history and a trailblazer if she stayed, but her departure would cast even more doubt on the league's capacity to hold on to its best players. CaitlinClark is in charge of the WNBA's future, regardless. Will she take her abilities to Europe, or do you believe she will accept the ownership stake and stay in the WNBA? Kindly leave your thoughts in the space provided for comments below, and don't forget to hit the bell for more, like, and subscribe.